Welcome to my yearly status video where I'll use Copilot 365 to show you all my finances. I'll show you how I built this business, how much we earn, how much I earn personally. I will show you my paycheck and I will show you everything. And I can also answer every question, so just post them in below if you want to do the same. Let's get started. We start in Outlook. So I have the Copilot 365 license. See, I got it here yesterday on this account at least. And I received an email. I received an email from my colleague. On top of all Outlook emails, we have the summary by Copilot. This is probably the coolest Outlook feature. I can just click it, and then Copilot will generate a summary. Here you can see that Stine Højberg Rasmussen requested details of the finances as specified the focus area: profitability, accumulated sales, sales trend, and sales breakdown. Let's deliver that. She also asked about some workshops. I can choose to hit Ask Copilot, and then a sidebar opens where I can ask further questions about the email or just in general. We will not do that today, so I'll close it. The Copilot icon has moved down here. It used to be up here. From here, we can choose to chat, reply, or summarize. Chat is the sidebar. Reply, we can draft a response to this email, or we can have it summarized again. I can also just choose to reply here. And if I hit the draft with Copilot, then I can prompt what I want to say. Let's say I want to say, thank Stine for her outstanding work. Say I can deliver and I will set up a Teams meeting shortly after where I will present our finances. That is my prompt. I send it to Copilot 365 and Copilot 365 will generate an answer. Why this is great is that it can read the entire context below from the email, so it knows where we're at. It knows about the topic that we talked about, so I can even add that into the prompt to reply to certain areas. It's also nice if it's a long email thread where you came in lately, then we can just reply it without maybe having read the first emails of the conversation. If this is what we want, we can press keep it, or I can choose to make it shorter, make it longer, change the tone, or retry. Retry will just do another prediction. Let's just say we want to keep it. Here you can see it inserted my signature twice, not a problem. So what we want to do is we can either edit this here in Outlook, or I can just say send, and that's it. We also want to schedule a meeting based on this. We promised Stine that. And what I can do here is to, while having the email open, I can press the schedule with Copilot. And this is impressive. So now Copilot 365 crafts a title, financial overview, and workshop details that's based on the context of the email. It suggests a time where everyone is available. It say what the agenda should be. It also attaches the original conversation as attachment, and it summarized the conversation. I can hit insert, and now I can choose to manually change it. Let's say I want to add a bullet down here. I could do that, or I can just delete or add stuff all over. I can also change the title, and right now we are the two that is invited, so that's because we appeared in the conversation. If we had more, they will also be up here. Let's say I'm happy with that. I can just send it, and we now have scheduled a meeting with Stine. We will take that later in the session. Yes, we will do it live. I will show you how Copilot 365 works live in Teams, but first we need to gather our finances. I need to tell you how this business works, how my numbers for 2024 looks like. And by the way, Stine is both my colleague and my wife. We started the company together. So let's get started. Stine also said that she sent us an email and it was not attached, so she placed it somewhere on our drive. That will be our OneDrive. So let's go find it, and let's open up a browser and use Copilot to find it. Here I want to go to m365.cloud.microsoft/ chat, that will open up my Copilot 365. I can choose, and here we have the sidebar. I will just collapse it so it will not take up space. So here I can choose either the web or work. The web is the free Copilot that you get with your Office 365, Microsoft 365 Business or Enterprise license. And we also have the work over here where I can prompt my file. So down here, I can, for example, like you can see, I can prep for the meeting. I can choose one of the predefined up here. So I can hit that, and now you see it can help me prepare for this meeting. Then it will look at the meeting, it will look at the agenda, and then it will start to suggest how I can prepare for the meeting. Here you can see it, we have some bullet points. You need to decide whether to deliver the workshop in beginner or advanced mode. Now I want to find a file, that's why we came here. So I say new chat, and I'm still in the work mode. I can add my Microsoft Graph content. The Graph content is all the data that you have access to in OneDrive, SharePoint, your emails, your contacts, and all that. You don't have elevated rights, so you don't have rights to your boss's inbox if you don't have it already. So only access to stuff that you already have. But this is so powerful. Now we can search in, for example, OneDrive. So here I can say, find all recent files about Anders Jensen Org, which is the name of my company. Then Copilot will look at the recent files, and hopefully we can find the file that Stine at. Here we have some journal documents, but this is the one that we want. You can see Anders Jensen Org Finance. This file contains detailed financial data for Anders Jensen, including monthly revenue from various sources such as YouTube, live training, e-learning, and consulting. It also includes information on salary and expenses, as well as the author's 2024 salary details. This is exactly what we want to know today. And you can see I can open it down here, and then it opens up in the cloud. So here we have the first sheet with sales. I can choose to use the Copilot in the cloud over here, or I can also use it in the Windows Legacy version. I choose to go with the Windows Legacy version, but these two will be the same. And that is just to get away from the browser, because we will come back and I'll show you some more stuff. Let's find that. So again, I could have used it there or find the placement, but it is in my OneDrive, in my documents, and here I have the Anders Jensen Org Finances. So this is the sales from last year, and let me enlarge it a bit so we can see what's going on. Like this. Here I have each month in the company, and here you can see our earnings. Yes, we will format this, and this is, by the way, in Danish kroner, so we will need to do a dollar conversion. We will let Copilot 365 handle that. And while I show you this, I can also show you the Copilot up here. If I press here, we open up the Copilot sidebar. It will be ready in 5 seconds. So for each month, I have how much we earned on YouTube, which is my YouTube earnings. You can see here I typically earn around 8 to 10,000 Danish kroner, and I can actually show you those. That is how much we sold on YouTube. I create videos on YouTube. You're watching one of them and you probably see some ads here and there. And this is the channel, this is the studio I have. Currently I have 70,313 subscribers. It's I gained a little over 1,000 subscribers during the last 28 days. It's a little bit on the decline because I haven't created too much videos. We have been busy delivering to our customers. And if I can show you my analytics, you can probably also see that. Here we can see that the last 48 hours, I got 16,000 views. This is just for the last 28 days, and this is actually in 2025. But if I went to 2024, here you can see the stats. So probably a little bit on the decline. This was, by the way, Christmas. You can clearly see that people here wants to sit home. You can also see how much watch time we had, and that is 198,000. I gained 16 1,200 subscribers, and the estimated revenue was 16,000. So this is how my YouTube did. You can also see here which video was watched the most in 2024. So a Copilot beginner's guide, something about SQL Server Management Studio, an old UiPath video, an even older Power Automate video, and an intro to desktop. But, and I'll just show you, I have a lot of content ready. You can see here we have the no-code RPA. We also have this one here, and this one, and this one. These 4 are still, they are produced. So I have like 3-4 hours of content. This will come out, so please stay tuned. We will have a lot of content coming out. This was the YouTube. So let us go back. We also have the live training. And this is awesome because just based on YouTube, people watch my videos and then they contact us and want to buy live training workshops for their companies usually, or keynote speeches and stuff. And this is how much we earned from that here. In July, we didn't earn a lot. All companies on vacation, so are we. So that was probably just one sale here. So the live training, we spent $0 on marketing. This is just, this all came from YouTube. Probably also a little bit from LinkedIn. I'm also on LinkedIn. As you can see here, it's a nice place to be. We have a lot of Copilot 365 content on my feed. But what I wanted to show you was this profile. I have 38,705 followers here. And I create post that gets seen. 178. By the way, I also have a sandbox environment here in LinkedIn. That's just a group where I post my post first. So I can review the post, but that's another story. So yeah, so it's mainly YouTube, but also a little bit here on LinkedIn that our customers get in. Then we have the e-learning, which is our e-learning course that you can get access to. What you need to do here is just to go to onlinecourses.andersjensen.org, and then the e-learning pops up. I already have this, but I can go out to the front page, probably here, and see all the products. And I can also buy the bundle. These courses we sell for $13, or you can buy lifetime access to everything, including coming courses, for $50. And that is what you see here. We launched it right about here, so these ones were probably not a lot. And we also do a little bit of consulting. Then we have like small sources of income. I have, let's go on LinkedIn. I have created a course for the LinkedIn Learning. Let me see if we can find it here. So here we created a course, and see if we can see the statements here. So I created a Learning Power Automate Desktop for developers. That paid out $4,272 to date. It gives us around $92 a month. And that's probably also declining because it's an old course, a rather old course. And here you can see it. It's actually, yeah, that's me. And here you can see it's actually quite well rated. But this also earn a little bit of income. It's nice with a stable side income, even though if it's just $100. So let us just the LinkedIn Learning. So this is our income. We will talk a little bit about that. We will need to understand the numbers, but this is the base income in Danish kroners. Then we also have some expenses. Let us enlarge that a bit. Here we have our expenses. They're quite large, but these are also salaries. So most of our expenses are salaries. We have me. We will also see I have my salary. I will expose how much I earned in 2024. Most of it are salaries, and we also have a team member, Jan, who also received quite a high salary, so he will also get paid out of this. Then we have the expenses, which is our office, not here. This is in the basement. But you will see that, not you will see, but I think we pay, that's Stina's department, I think we'll pay $1,300 for a 3-person office, just around the corner here. So that's the sale and expenses. Let's use Copilot to do something with it. So I think we will create a new sheet. So we will create a new sheet here, and let's move it to the beginning. Let's rename it. We will call it 2024 overview. Let's also enlarge this a bit. So what I want to do here is to create a table. We want a month, January. I know we could just copy it, but let's say that this was my task given here. And here I have the month, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So here I want to create a table. So I mark it, say Control T. My table has headers. Yes, that's the month. And I do this. So now we want to let Copilot do the work. Copilot is this sidebar over here. So what I want to do, maybe I can enlarge it a bit and also make it a little bit bigger. So over here I can prompt, and what I want to do here is that we want to add a new column. So we want to take all the sales columns and add it to this one here. So we do a lookup over there. So here I say lookup each month in the sales table. Oh, it says lookup in the sales table, and return all other columns from the sales table. We'll do this live, then you can both see Copilot 365 work, and I can talk a little bit about how we do in the business. And I can say and multiply the values with 0. Now I'll just take a fixed dollar course. Later I'll show you how we can use Copilot to do advanced stuff, where we can do an API call directly in Excel with Office scripts just from Copilot. But one step at a time, baby steps. We will start simple and then we will work on. So then do the same for the expenses table. So if I go to sales, if I click up here in the sales table and go to table design, you can see I named this table sales, and similarly with the expenses, that was expensive. So I take advantage of that in my prompt. Then it's easier to refer to. So now we want to add columns to this. We want to look up and just gather it automatically. Sometimes it's really quick, sometimes it's a little bit slower, but it's definitely much faster than doing it ourselves. So do we think this looks good? It does an X lookup. It takes like the current month, that's where we are in this table. And then it takes the expense month, expenses, salaries and expenses, and times it with this. It also, see up here, you can see it takes the consulting, the e-learning, and does the same. Looks good to me. I can highlight it up here. And if I think this is good, you can see it's grayed out. Then I can just hit it and it will add the columns automatically. It's like magic. So this also means that you can see here that the December salaries and expenses is 36,505. And that's what we have here, but we also have the dollar course. So it multiplied with 0.13935, and that will give us this up here. You can see it here. So this looks good. We have a lot of decimals. We will let Copilot fix that one step at a time. Then I also want to sum up our sales. So we have the YouTube, live training, e-learning, and consulting. These 4 columns are our sales, while this is our expensive. I just go to Copilot again, and then I say add a column. And I want it to be placed after the consulting. So I say add a column after consulting that sums YouTube, live training, e-learning, and consulting. And if you like these videos, please give it a thumbs up, these live coding videos. I'll definitely make more, and it will also, if you like it, it will also make the video go out to more. So that will be extremely nice for me. So I'll definitely say thank you if you have the time. Otherwise, just watch. That's also appreciated. Thank you. So here I say name the column. Let's call it sales. Then it will generate formula suggestions for a new column. It says here, that looks good. It takes the sum of the YouTube column, the live training column, e-learning and consulting. I can also get explanations for this. Well, not much of an explanation, but at least it says what it wants to do. We could also have gotten that up here, where it might be a little bit more needed. Anyway, I can choose to insert the column, and it will insert it in here. So here we have the sales, which is just these 4 guys added. You can also see it here. You can see it. It's these 4 guys summarized. So far, so good. Let's also calculate the net sales. Stine asked us to do that as well. And by the way, let's do this. So I want to calculate the net sales. And here I just want to say create a column that calculates the net sales. Let's say I don't know how to do it. I'll just ask Copilot how to do it. And don't worry, we will create much more advanced stuff later here in the lesson. So here it says that the net sales is the sales minus the salary and expenses. That looks good. I can choose to hover my mouse over again, and we get it here. So this one is this sales here minus this. So this is how much we have on the bottom of the book each month. Then I also want to see, well, this is for the first month, this is for the second. I want an accumulated net sales calculated. So again, I simply just go here and say create a column that calculates net sales. And if you're interested in these things, there's a few resources I want to recommend. First off is LinkedIn, and there's the LinkedIn group. Let me show you here. It is called, see all, find it here, the Copilot community. Here we will post resources, news, and I'll also post a few videos. Then there's the I Love Automation Discord community. As much if you're more interested in the automation part, where we automate a lot with no-code tools, RPA tools, but also with Copilot, Copilot Studio, OpenAI. Here you can see we're almost 15,000 members. For example, I can go to a channel that is, let me enlarge it a bit. That is, how was my day? Hey all, I'm recording a video and you are live. Then I could also scroll down to some of the help channels, for example, the OpenAI ChatGPT. Here I can get help to all issues. So a nice place to be. The address is discord.gg/iloveautomation, like this, with don't have 2 O's. That will take you here. You just set up an account. It's completely free. Anyway, back to our Excel. So here we had the net sales. Let's also do a more advanced formula. So what I want to do here is that I want to create this accumulated net sales. So here I say create a column that calculates accumulated net sales. I just tell Copilot what I want to do, and then Copilot, that's also why it's important to name your columns well, because Copilot will take a look at your data and then say, oh, well, then it's this column minus this column, or what it needs. So name your data well. Here it's actually doing a more advanced formula. So here it says it takes the sum of something, and this index here, the index function takes a specific value from an array. That is the net sales column. And it takes the first value, that is this, and then say take the sum from the first column here of the array, that will be this, to where you're at now. So the first one here will just be the sum of this, the second one will be the sum of the first two, and so forth down here. So this looks good. You can see our result, that's how much, after we paid salary and expenses, that's how much we had on the bottom at the end of the year in US dollars here. So quite good. I will say definitely a little bit more than expected. I also think that we have way too many decimals on our data. So I can choose to say round all values to the nearest zero, but I can also use a more casual language. Here I can say no decimals in my data. Hit enter. And I think I will do this so we can see what's going on. Then it say, okay, looking at, do we want to apply these two things? Well, let's try to hit apply, then it will apply the changes. Boom, we have no decimals. And it's not like it removed them. I can just pick a random value here, and then I can go up here and say increase decimal. You can see the decimals are still there. So it's not like it threw them away, it's just rounded to the nearest zero. That was our casual language. Let's do some conditional formatting. Conditional formatting you can find up here in this menu. It's usually where people have a little bit of problem because they are hard to create these rules, but I can do that with Copilot. Here I can say color the cells in the sales column. Green for values above 42,000. Let's just do this. Yellow for values between 35,000 and 42,000. The reason why these threshold is that our budget was 42,000 per month. We wanted to earn that in average over throughout the year. And then I say red for values below 35,000. And when I say earned, that was, of course, revenue. So that was our sales target. Now it will try to understand my data. It quickly creates the rules, and I can just hit apply here. Now you will see that we had 3 below average months, 2 a little bit below, and then we have 7 great months. Actually, quite a great month here. The reason, you can also see the reason here in the summer, usually down, people go on vacation, they don't need workshops in Copilot or Power Automate, so we don't have a lot of sales there. This one, I'm not sure why, probably just variance, quite small data set, and it's also a little bit slow, though not a lot, during Christmas, or at least there's also a vacation late in December, first in January. So this is nice. I can also do other sorts of conditional formatting. I can say bold the top 25% of values in the net sales column. And then it will, here in the net sales column, it will bold the top 25%. That will be 3 of them here, but it will be dynamic. If I want to inspect these rules here, I can always go up to conditional formatting, manage rules, and here you can see it created 4 rules. This is nice, so it's dynamic. I can even change it. Imagine that you had to do this yourself. This will probably be hard if you're not proficient in Excel. So thanks again, Copilot. Then I also want to sum up a lot of this. I want to see what's the total of all these columns here. Probably not accumulated sales, that will not make sense, and not the month column. So here I will say sum each column except columns B and J. Yeah. I can even also talk to Copilot. Well, as you can see, I have a little bit of accent, and sometimes I just mumble or talk too fast. I rarely use the microphone, I will be honest. But if I just hit insert row, then we have a total row for each one of these. Isn't it nice? Here we can see that our total sales was 518,000. Our expenses was 425,000. Well, a lot of them are salaries. We will come back to that. I'll show you how much I earn when we reach the advanced part here. All good. Let's create some diagrams or charts. That's usually where people have a problem. So I can go down here, and here I can say just say what I want, but show the net sales by month. Maybe I would add this, sort the months in chronological order. I'm not sure I need this, so let us just do this, and let's just delete it first, and let's see if it can figure out that it needs to be sorted like this. If it not, then we will add the last part. I copied it to the clipboard. Sometimes you need to be very specific. Here we can see we have it. It's still a little bit hard to see. I think you can see here it sorted it not like we wanted, at least not in the preview. So here you can see September, April, August, J. So it created a pivot table, and it created the net sales. Up here we can sort from A to Z, Z to A, more sort options. It's hard to sort here. So we could have specified that in the prompt, or we could sort it in the pivot table. So now you can see it's nice. Now we can see that different sums of the net sales, where it was negative. Probably here we paid out a lot of our pension funds, and we also didn't sell a lot, or maybe it was here actually. I can also, with a pivot table like it created up here, I can also say, well, I don't want to see the summer, and I just do this, and it disappears from the graph. Copilot has created that. Currently we can edit pivot tables with Copilot 365, but we cannot edit graphs. That will come later in the Copilot. Let's go back to the data. So I can also say create a stacked column chart and here I can say column C to F for each month. So here I just referenced the column, and now I want a stacked column chart C to F. That is our sales. I want to see how they are divided. So how much is YouTube, how much is live training, and so forth. Here we have it. I can just press add to a new sheet, and we have the pivot table here. Now you can see it's sorted for month, and we have it here. I can easily enlarge it. I can see the different sales, some of YouTube, some of live training, some of e-learning, and some of consulting. I can also copy or cut it, and if I wanted it now, my computer here froze. That's also a thing where when you do things live, stuff like this happen. Don't worry, we will get back, and it's also auto-saved. There we go. I think maybe we needed a restart. At least Excel froze. Maybe here we was. So here we have it. I can say Control V, and then I can paste in this, still with references to the pivot table and the original data. If I rather wanted that, and maybe I want to do it a little bit smaller. So at least when things go wrong like it did here, that's where I have your attention. Let's do some more advanced things, because now I want to show you my salary. And first, let me show you my paycheck. Put it here on the desktop. So this is my paycheck. This is how much I earned in the last month of 2024. This is in Danish, but I earned like 53,000 a month. And we paid quite a lot of taxes here, so you can see I only get 38,000 out. But here we have the yearly 639,000. I also got paid employer paid pension 68,000, and I was also given a dividend of the company in the last part of it. So that was in the bottom. Stine and I split that. So far so good. Let's take a look at that, and let's see how we can actually do some more advanced stuff. So I go to our Excel. Hopefully it will not crash. I have my salary here. So here I have it in Danish kroners. I have what I earned, that was from the paycheck. I also have my employer-sponsored retirement plan. So that is this. I invest those in stocks, by the way. But I can only get it once I retire. And then I got a dividend. Stina and I each got a dividend of 332,000. Remember, all this is pre-taxed. This means that my average monthly salary in Danish kroners is 86,693. Now we don't want to use a fixed. We don't want to use a fixed DK to US dollar conversion like we did before. I want to take it live. So let's try to API integrate with an Office script here to our Excel cell. It will be step by step, so please just follow me. You can even do it yourself. I go to my browser again because first I need some API documentation. So I go to this free currency API. I signed up free. I'm not affiliated with that, or I don't know him. Then I go to the request playground. I said I want my base currency as Danish kroners, and these ones are the currencies that I can give. I can probably also just have the US dollar out, but I just thought it was fun with more. Here we have a generated request URL. If I try to click send here, I can see the response coming back. So what I want to do in Excel is to call this URL. That is an API. That is a piece of software someone wrote. I will call that with the information that's in here. That's both information about my API key, which is the authenticator, and also what I want out, and also this URL. Then I get this response back. I could not paste this in an Excel cell. I need to have whatever the value of the US key is. I need to have that out. So here you can see this is a JSON, so I also needed to pass this. JSON is called in developer language. All that we don't need to know. I can just use Copilot. So let's start doing that. Let me copy the URL. I will go to Copilot chat, and here I could use the built-in Excel. I just think it's easier to do in the chat experience. I go to web. I don't need internal data. So now we can also see the web part. Here I just specify the task. How do I create an Office script, colon, maybe that calls this API. Control V, paste it in. Please don't use this because then I need to pay. No, just kidding. This is just a free service. Then I also want to say the response, that was where the live currency came back, comes in this format. And then I need to copy whatever response here. So I copy this. I just show Copilot. Why do I do this? I just show Copilot the details. So here I say Control V. Let's also have, let's say, return the value of the US dollar key to the, where do I want it out? I want it out in the C4 cell. Say C4 cell. I could also specify the sheet, but I can also say of the active sheet just to make it a little bit more easy. So look what's happening when I hit run here. And then it just said, sure, here's the Office script that calls the specified AI. We don't need to understand code. It actually, on my world, it also commented the code, which is extremely good practice. So here we have it. Usually there might be a little bit of an error in the coding syntax, but we can, don't worry, we just let Copilot debug that. That will be to fix the error if there's any. I mark it and say Control C. Now let's try to apply it. So I go over here. It doesn't matter where the mouse is. Let us just go up to Automate. And that is where you find the Office scripts. Office scripts are written in type form, a TypeScript, which is a lot like JavaScript. It is the new VBA because here I can also, they can nest in the cloud. We don't need to have a macro enabled workbook anymore. So what I want to do here is to say new script. Then this code editor opens up here. Here I can record actions like, from a macro, or just write the script myself. We have a script up here. And what I want to do here is just to rename it. You can see an Office script is having the extension OSTS. Let's call this one DKK to USD, like this. And if I go down here, this is a predefined script. I just say Control V where I had my script. Then we wanted to run it. Here you can see we have a few errors. So don't worry, we just copy it. That was quite expected because sometimes it doesn't quite understand the syntax here. Then I just go back here and I say, I get the following errors, : paste in the errors like we copied, and then Copilot fix it. So here it says that it fixed these. Let's fix those errors by explicitly declaring the types for the variables. Then let's try it again. So this is extremely nice for a developer. Imagine how much time this would have taken. And if I just run it now, look what happens over here. We got the live DKK to US dollar from an API call this, and it inserted here. This also means that next time I want to run this, I can just do this and it updates here. Of course, this was the same, but it can update all the time. The smart thing here is also that we can schedule these. With Power Automate, we can schedule these Office scripts probably just to run each night. Then this would be updated all the time. Here you can also see that my average monthly salary in US dollar was $12,082. That's it. That's how advanced you can actually get in Excel with Copilot. So with that in place, I think we will move on because we have a lot of other things to look at. I can also show you Copilot in PowerPoint. I can do this. So here, and this was probably just a pre-made one. And this was now I did a PowerPoint before you came here to see that everything works. But this is how it looks when we open it up blank. And sorry for that. I also opened up Power Automate Desktop, which you can actually see we have a Copilot with an AI recorder. If you like that, I created a video for that. That's up in the right corner, but it's not the topic here. I just accidentally opened. What I want to do here is to click this little Copilot icon here in PowerPoint. I can create a presentation about, and here I can create any presentation. That could be create a presentation about tulips. And then it will start creating that. That's not why we came here. We wanted to create a presentation about the finances, but this is just to show you how easy it is to generate. It even sorts them into categories. In PowerPoint, myself, I'm really bad at doing PowerPoints, but with this, it became a lot easier. So here you can see it drafts out the titles of each slide. And again, if you like this, please give the video a thumbs up. That will make it come out tomorrow and I will be extremely happy. Here we have it. We have a nice presentation. Of course, there's still room for improvement, but you can see it's sorted into categories. I can also do this in the normal view. And here I can see all my, and it even adds, you can see here, that's a bubble and a market collapse. It adds nice images that that actually in the context of the text. Here I can add slides. Currently I cannot edit it, but what I can recommend is to press the designer, and here I can choose to have the slides slightly designed. It's also part of Copilot. That's not what we wanted. Let's grab a new presentation, and we can also create a presentation from file. Imagine that we had a Word file, then we could, that's usually how you want to do. Again, I will just go here, create a presentation about how my company, Anders Jensen Org, did in 2024. We sell AI and RPA workshops, consulting, and e-learning. I want to present the finances. Unfortunately, currently, we can not add Excel books to PowerPoints as context, so that's why we couldn't attach the file. But this is how we can do, and this is extremely nice. Generate the slides, and now it will. So, in the real world, if Stine had requested that meeting, I will of course create this, but this just shows you that you can get out over the white paper. They're just staring in the screen. Then we can speed things up with the Copilot. Now we have it, and you can see here it's still should have specified the name a little bit better because it says Anders Jensen Org. The company name is indeed Anders Jensen Org in one place. Yes, there's also a web address, but the company name is with small. But again, you can see here, it says that I should do this financial performance here, and then it adds some slides. And if I want to keep it, I can do that again, and I can go over here and inspect the slides. Of course, I need to put in my numbers and all that, but again, I didn't have to make it myself. I can also use Copilot in Word. So I also wanted to show you that because that's also a nice place here. Another blank document. Enlarge it a bit. When I open Copilot here, I can describe what I would like to write. Here I can, for example, say create a guide to GDPR for office workers. And again, I could choose to use some of my current files as context to this document, but here it looks at the internet and it knows a lot about GDPR. I can also say about GDPR in Denmark or whatever I want, and then it creates quite a long document. It was a vague prompt. In the real world, I will have a longer prompt, so this will be more targeted what I need. But if I want this, I can just say keep it. I can also go over here to the Copilot sidebar, and here's just a hidden gem that I wanted to use. Cancel your stock subscription, because you can put in stock images here. For example, I can say, let me just enlarge it a bit. Create a stock image, or maybe just generate a stock image, or find a stock image of GDPR. A stock image is from an image database. You usually have to have a subscription for this. Here you can see, here are some images. I can use that in I can just click it, click insert, and I can use it. So this is stock images that Microsoft made for us. There's also a lot of other ones, and you can even prompt more. So this was nice, but I can also make my own stock images. That could be, for example, generate. Here we ask AI to generate an image of a zebra reading about GDPR. The zebra should be on the moon, and the image should be realistic. Again, we have a few options. Realistic is probably not the best thing to write when we want it realistic, but that's just another story. I created a guide for doing that. That's actually in our e-learning, which was here. It's both in the Copilot beginners course e-learning, and it's actually also included up here. At least another lesson. But let's go back to not where I wanted. I want to work. Here we have a zebra reading about GDPR on the moon. Let's say I want this. I can insert it. This is actually quite good in my eyes. I know it's not 100% perfect, but imagine that we can now generate images from AI images that never existed. So it's not like this is from a database. This is uniquely generated for you. So now with that in place, we can move on. We have a meeting with Stine. We have a meeting where I should present all of these numbers, and I think we covered everything from the beginning part. I also showed you all the numbers. We also talked about how much I actually earn. I earn 12,082, and you can actually think of this as I earn a little bit more because the company also is worth something. I'm not sure how much Anders Jensen Org is worth, but we have a brand. People know us from YouTube here. So if I was you, what I recommend doing if you want to copy it, you don't have to be a copycat, but that's just to create content. Start doing maybe just some YouTube videos. My YouTube videos in the beginning was so bad. You can even find them back here. I think I created like 500-600. But what I want to encourage you to is just to create YouTube videos about a thing you know. In IT, we're here for IT, but just to show things that you think is nice. Also do it. You can also do it when you learn something. Show it in a video. Yes, they will be bad in the beginning. No problem. Don't have to be embarrassed about yourself. Just perfect. So make it a little bit better each time. And I think mine took like 2-3 years before I got like to a standard that I am now satisfied with. I can even look back 1 year or 2 years and think that this was not good. So create YouTube videos, and if you are go to the Discord here to ask about things. If there's things you want to know, we gladly help you. We don't solve complete projects, so it's not like you can get consulting help, like complete consulting help. But if you just have a thing you want to know about, that could be Copilot or Power Automate Desktop, then you can just post it here, and we will gladly help you. So, and the other thing I want to encourage you to is to create a LinkedIn profile. If you not already have, you're more than welcome to find me, to follow or connect with me. You can see here the address. There's probably a lot of people named Anders Jensen, but you're welcome to find me. Otherwise, just search for Anders Jensen Copilot. Then I will show up. So what you can do here is to not only create posts here. I can show you how much my post gets seen. I'm not a particularly good person. I can also see what I do to make my post more interesting. But up here I can also have a featured section. In my featured section, I have one item. I'll definitely encourage you to do that. That will be your action item. I sold a lot of online courses through this because people find me here on LinkedIn, and then they say, oh, Anders got an online course. I can just click there, and I need to do that here, and that will take me to the Get All Courses bundle. So a nice way to easily, if people like you, they will probably do if they come to your LinkedIn profile and have an action item as well. Then you need to create posts, and then my posts. These are also posts from the sandbox. Here you can see this one got seen 9,500 times. Probably not a lot, but here I blog a lot about things. For example, here's a monthly updates. I also do these monthly updates on LinkedIn. 17,261 saw it. So a nice place to. What I want to do here is just to show you how much my post got seen. Let's do this here. It will take a little bit time to update, but this is nice. I just write about myself, what I do. Maybe I also show some stuff in the programs like Power Automate Desktop and Copilot. And here you can see that people saw my content 3 million times. Imagine that this is just free advertisement for your business. If you want to do the same, just talk about what you like. With that said, I think we need to go to a meeting with Stine. So this will be the only pause in the video. I will pause the video, and when we come back, we will talk with Stine on Teams. I'll show you how Copilot works there, and I'll also show you the Copilot agents. So stay tuned. And now we're ready to have the meeting with Stine. We can either go to Outlook, or I can go to my Teams, where I can find the meeting. Let's join her. I cannot join her with my camera. So hello, Stine.
Hi, Anders.
glad it succeeded, and thank you for the help with this video. You cannot see me, that's because I used the recorder to talk to the viewers. So first thing I want to do to activate the Copilot ability is to click the three dots here, record and transcribe, and I will start a recording. Here I will set the language. This will be English because we talk English now, but you can use your local language. I'll hit confirm. And Stine, can you confirm that you will get a pop-up saying that I will record this video?
I sure am, and that I'm giving my consent to be included in it.
Yes. So here we will record and transcribe. You don't need to record to have a transcription, but Copilot needs the transcription to be able to do that. So Stine, I just wanted to hear how you're doing.
I'm doing well, thank you. What about you?
Great, thank you. And so the year 2024 in the company, how did it went, do you think? I could present you for the finances, but since this is just a demo, we will just talk a little briefly here.
Yeah, I think the year went really well. We had a lot of great things in our calendar, and we developed a lot of great courses and worked with some really interesting clients and did good trainings. So
yes, were you busy?
And if I was busy, not more than I like to be. So that's fine with me. I think maybe you and the other instructors, Jan and company, were a bit more busy than me.
Yeah. And I will just put you on hold for 2 seconds, Stine, because I can show you, show the viewers this Copilot. If I press Copilot here, I can, if I'm late in the meeting, imagine that there was a third one, I can say summarize the meeting so far, and I will get a recap of what we talked about. Now, that is nice. You can see the company performance and workload and business. And the reason why you see demo here is because this is the demo account, Demo Anders Jensen, so it says Stine and demo, but that is me on this account. I can also say what would be great questions to ask Stine about. And Stine cannot see this Copilot, but Stine, you have your own Copilot, is that right? So here we could ask Stine about what feedback have you received from clients about our training sessions?
I received a lot of good feedback that it's really nice that you guys are so hands-on, and that in the hands-on workshops that you are actually working on the computers alongside the students, so they learn how to do it themselves instead of seeing a PowerPoint presentation with pictures of how it actually works.
And Stine, we'll just have a virtual machine where our company data went. So what I will do here is that. My screen. Now you can see screen. You went over to the third screen, but this is the. And here we did the financial. Quickly, the sales was $518,000. Expenses here, which mostly salaries, is that right?
True.
And then
software.
We have the software, but probably, yeah, of course we paid the
Mostly
Copilot
salaries,
license.
yeah.
And then we had the net sales here, which is guided us. Fluff is saying that dividend going, of course, this is pre-tax, but this is everything that was in excess except the brand image, which also holds that equals to this number, which we both earned, probably times 4. And we did an API call to this. Here, we can just run this Office script calling this live button. So this is what we did. I'll bring you back on the screen. Then I will for time come here, and we could see that we can pilot. I will definitely use it internally, but externally to ask questions, partners and likes. What is your favorite
My favorite Copilot feature, I would say, is in Outlook, scheduling meetings and getting feedback on emails. So I'm sure that I'm actually sending an email with the right intention for the person to receive it.
We also did that. Thank you. And let's make a decision that we will take lunch soon. It's only 10:30, but maybe in an hour or so. Did we do that?
I think that's a great decision. I will make you responsible of lunch today. So I'm looking forward to having lunch with you.
I will do
Bye.
that. Bye-bye. So having left, we can end the meeting and we can continue. The meeting is over and now I can find a nice meeting recap either here in Teams where I can press view recap. I can also find it in my calendar. If I click here, and let me double click to open it. In fact, I can also see I have a meeting summary below here. This is extremely nice, just automatically placed in my meeting. This is from Teams Premium. I can hit view recap and here we will see the video. I can jump to different parts of the video. Let's say I remember Stine talked a lot here. I can just jump here, here, or here. I can also find AI meeting recap over here, generated by Teams Premium again. I can go to the transcript. That is the transcript. If I want to download that, I can download that into a Word file. So extremely nice. We don't need a transcript now though, because we will create it automatically. To create a meeting recap, we go back to Copilot. We hit work here because now we can tag a meeting directly. So here, let's just start really simple. Create a meeting recap for, and now I can tag the meeting. I'll just have a /. Here you can see it shows up. Either I need to search for it, or I can also find it up here in the meetings. I could also have, instead of the /, I can also press add content or this paper clips. That's the same thing they all do. You can see I start to search and I can tag the meeting. Once I hit run here, you will see that here's a recap where everything is covered from the meeting. Yes, we could structure it a little bit better. So let's try that. Let's say that you want probably just some sort of a template. Let's try to create it. I'll go to new chat and here we want to create a new template. So here I say create a meeting recap for. And now I want to have a meeting. I want to tag a meeting. So here, let's say that we want to have a meeting for do a placeholder here. We will do this. Insert meeting. So this could both be a transcription or we could also tag a meeting. Again, you can do it now. I will just show you the template, then we will implement it to see that it works with Stine. I can also show you how to save prompts. I have provided your instructions in the square brackets. Shift enter a couple of times creates a nice structure. Then I say meeting recap. Insert title of the meeting. So here I say that in these square brackets, I provide the instructions for the model, which is Copilot. You can also have a date. Insert a date on the form. I like to say I want a day, dot, month, dot, year. If you live in the US, you probably want months first, and you just switch these things. These can also be written with words. This is, by the way, .NET, how you format date times here in Windows or Excel or .NET programming. But you can either Google .NET custom formatting, or you can just write day, months, year. I want a dot in between, so I type a dot. If you rather run the hyphen, just type a hyphen. Time. Insert time of the meeting on the form. Hour, minute. Like this. By the way, I rescheduled the meeting just to make 1 hour before. So if you think that the time was a little bit different than when we had the meeting, I just changed it in the calendar to make it in the right place. Then I can have an organizer. Insert the meeting organizer, and this was demo. And then we want the attendees. Insert the attendees of the meeting like this. We want to recap. And again, this is just one way to do it. Create a recap of the meeting. Do like this. And we probably also want to have a decisions taken. Like this. Insert decisions taken in the meeting. Just one way to do it. You can also have a conclusion or whatever you want here. So this is what we want to do. We still have this placeholder, but the trick is now just to send it. Yes, it will probably take the last meeting and look for a meeting recap and do that. That's not what we want. Well, you can see it works here, fine, but this is not what we want. We want to go up here, and then you want to press the save prompt. Because now we can save the prompt, we can use it. There's no need for us to type this over and over. So here I can, if this was a meeting recap, you can also title it department meeting recap. You can have different templates for different occasions. Here I say save. And now the clever thing is that I go to new chat. I say view prompts here. I say your prompts, meeting recap. You can see here, I can just tag the meeting up here. Just delete this placeholder. It is a little slow. And now I can tag the meeting. I can either upload a transcript or find it here by have the /. That's it. So each time I have a new meeting, I just take the save prompt and do like this. Here, the meeting began with a discussion, and isn't that cool? So just an automatic recap in my standards. We can even create an agent. An agent is a specialized version of Copilot, and let me just say new chat. Yeah. So we can have an agent in work or web. So we picked web first here. We can see we have the visual creator. I can get some predefined agents from Microsoft. The visual creator is an agent to create images, but I will say create an agent. And here we can describe what we want. Well, it is a little bit hard to describe what you want in chat messages. So instead we go to configure. We will do a meeting recap agent. We can call it agent recap. And let's change the logo and change the icon. I think I have icon here. That is Anders Jensen org, the company icon. We could also change the background if we wanted it to be, for example, white. Here, FFF. Yep. And that is the white. Looks good. So now we have we can see it over here. We have it. Then we also want a description. Helps generating meeting minutes. We have it. It will show up below here. And an agent is just a specialized version of Copilot. Imagine that in your company, you will have specialized people doing this and that. This agent we want to use for meeting recaps. Both we will do 2 templates so we can see that it works. So if I scroll a little bit down, we also have the instructions. What should the agent do? We could use these instructions. We could create them ourselves. I also create some agent recap instructions. So this is how my instructions looks. And if you want those, simply just ping me on LinkedIn or whatever, and I'll gladly send them to you. So what we do is also, because we don't need to type them here in the video. So what I want to do here is to paste them in here. It's just saying that that we have two standards. Ask the user for a meeting selection. This will be the recap, for example. Determine the recap format, and it either a manager meeting or a department notice. That will be a shorter notice. Based on the selection, generate the recap accordingly. So here we say if manager recap is selected, then it will create after a standard that will be a long email. And if the department notice, it will just be a few sentences. So far, so good. And then we can move further below. I can also upload documents that could be documents about my company. Here you can see knowledge. I can choose to upload that or refer to a SharePoint site. We will not use internal documents, but that could be how we talk in the company or something like that. We could also add that to it. I can also choose to allow web content if I want the agent to be able to get web information with sources. I just enable this. Not super important here, but we have it. We want to have the code interpreter. Then it can use code to analyze structured data if we have that. And we can also have the image generator. Then we have the starter prompts. They will show up here. We will just create a few simple ones. Manager meeting recap. They will show up below, as you can see here. That is so let the user start the conversation, and this will be the actual prompt sent. So when the user hit this, this would be the prompt that we want to send. I want to recap my meeting using the manager meeting template. And let's just copy this, paste it here, because this one will be the department notice. So we have two, we can have more. Simply just imagine that we have more department notice if we have more templates that we want to use. Department. You can even share this agent in your company. Let's say that this is good. We can try it over here, or I can hit create. Then it will create the agent. It will take like 20 seconds. You and I can talk a bit. So what we learned today is to use Copilot. Well, it's already here. This URL is for me. I can always find the agent. I can change the sharing settings here. I can choose to have it anyone in my organization or by security groups. Well, I just think we will let it be for me. I can choose to go to agent. If I do that, I can find it here, agent recap. I can always toggle between, for example, the Copilot and the agent recap. So this agent recap got instructions. Let's just say that we want manager recap first. I just hit this, and then you can see our message comes here. The user can send it, and then the agent will reply. It will probably say something like, now it's a little bit slower than usual. Sure, let's get started. If you have a transcript or key point from the meeting, that will be helpful too. Let's just upload those because we downloaded that. So here we need it. We still cannot tag the meetings either in work. We need our IT admin to enable for that if we want that. Here we have it. Now you will see how easy it is. We can just go in here, provide a transcript, and get it out. I can also take a new chat. Let's try to do the department notice from the same, so you can see they differ. So simply just create different templates and use them. And also you probably have a company. Now it wants to, yeah. So this is department notice that we want to send. Let me just show you that we can actually get it to work. Here it is. And it will also try to generate an image. In my opinion, you can see here, it says that I will now generate an image inspired by the recap content. I asked it to do that, but apparently it has a little bit of problems here. But Copilot 365 is very impressive. And again, I created the online course, which you can find at online courses on Jensen.org. $30, it will take you to all the steps. If you want more, or just have the bundle, lifetime access on all our courses, no subscription or anything like that. You have the course with all updates. Now you probably want to go to either the Copilot instruction video, which you find here, or you want to find the playlist of my status That is where I share my finances. You can find that playlist right here to the other side.